guess what? It's Accordion Cool again. Son of a gun. Time goes by fast. Well, we have kind of a special show today. I guess you'd almost call it bittersweet. You've heard me mention many times a fellow named Art Van Dam. Art Van Dam was the greatest jazz accordion player in the world. I had the honor to know him a little bit. And unfortunately, he passed away on February 15th, 2010. Well, as we tape this show, we're in 2025, so it's been about 15 years. So what I'm going to do today is a little tribute to Mr. Van Dam. Now, for those of you who may possibly not have heard any of his music, you have, trust me. Because back in the day, it was all over the airwaves, and it was the Art Van Dam Quintet, and he had, of course, accordion, vibes, guitar, drums, and bass. And it was said with Art Van Dam, everybody played. In other words, yes, he was the star, yes, he was the head man, yes, his name was on it, but everybody in the group got a chance to play. Well, today I'm just going to use, as you probably heard already, the accordion and the vibes. Of course, I got the bass in the left hand because the guitar sound on this isn't what I would really like. So we'll just stick with guitar and vibes and drive you crazy with the vibes. I don't know. So that first tune was Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind. It's become a jazz standard. Written in 1937. Now, the ironic thing about that song is a little movie came out around then called, Gone with the Wind. Well, the song was not from the movie, and the fellow that wrote it was accused of kind of piggybacking on top of the movie, and for his song. He said, nope, I just happened to think of that as the name of the song, and he totally denied it, and of course, they're all gone now, so there's no way to really know. So that was Gone with the Wind. Art played that tune a lot. The tunes I'll play today are tunes that he would play in most of his live shows, and of course recorded them all. He recorded 40 albums. 40 albums! Oh, I tell you. All right, second tune, 1940. I guess it came from a musical, but unfortunately one of those that wasn't, really well known. It's called You Stepped Out of a Dream. So here we go. You stepped out of a dream. I've seen some women look like they've stepped out of night. Never mind. Never mind. You stepped out of a dream, Art Van Dam. Now, none of these songs Art wrote. He just, he just played other people's. He did write a tune, and I've played it a few times. It's called Ecstasy, and it's a pretty ballad in the key of D yet. So for you musician folks, that's, oh boy. I haven't played it in a long time, but to my knowledge, I think there's another one called Madame Van Dam or something like that he wrote. But okay, this next tune came from 1928. A fellow named Eddie Cantor. Eddie Cantor, he was a song and dance man way back then, and he had the first recording of tune that came from a show. The show was called Whoopee, and the tune is, Making Whoopee. Now what? I'm not sure if this was on one of his albums, but I have somewhere, which I gotta find, a demo recording of Art Van Dam and Tommy Ippolito. Tommy Ippolito played an instrument called the Sanovox, which was one of the grandfathers, pioneers of instruments like this. So they had a demo, and I know this song is on the demo, and so will the next one be. Whoopee, you're making whoopee. Whoopee. Actually, he must have done it on one of his albums sometime. I mean, 40 albums, that's quite, that's what, almost 500 tunes? My goodness. Although I'm sure a few were probably repeats. All right, well, this next tune is sort of a classical accordion piece. Now, Art Van Dam didn't do any of that type of music, but like I said, on this demo, I believe this song is there, and it's called Dark Eyes, and it's a Russian folk song. So it's just a simple little tune, but it's kind of a fun thing to play. So let's see what happens with it. Guys. I guess it was something like 1843 that came from a poem, and I guess they put the music to it somewhere around 1879. And no, Austin, I wasn't there. Anyway, this next tune, 1941, was written by a fellow named Juan Tizo. Who? Juan Tizo. Who is he, Coach Dave? Juan Tizo actually wrote a few tunes. He was a trombone player in the Duke Ellington Orchestra. And like I said, he wrote a few tunes. He wrote this little tune called Perdido, which is kind of a fun tune to play, and Art played this one a lot. Perdido. Well, this next tune is probably my favorite tune, so I was more than happy to include this on today's show. 1939 came from a show, again, one of those nondescript shows that probably didn't go anywhere, written by Jerome Kern. Little tune called All the Things You Are, All the Things You Are. So let's see what we get with this. the things you are. Great, great tune. At least I think so. Well, we're getting down close to the end of our time, and if you're counting, you're noticing we're going to have one extra song, and I thought we might have time for it because some of these songs are a little short. 1926, the song was written. And, back in the wedding days, when you did a wedding, after the meal, you had to have a sing-along for all the folks. Oh, did I hate those sing-alongs. And the captain of the sing-along that I hated most was Bye Bye Blackbird. Then guess what happened? The jazz guys, especially Mr. Van Dam, got a hold of this tune, and wow, okay, one of my favorites now. So this tune comes with a disclaimer. It's going to be a little quick. So I would advise you don't try to tap your foot because I can't be responsible for any sprains or strains that may develop. So, little Bye Bye Blackbird, let's see what happens. Bye Bye Blackbird. Well, there is a story, an Art Van Dam story. I wasn't there when this happened, but they had some type of convention or something, and a whole bunch of accordion players were there playing. And I remember Dick Contino, yeah. Actually, I knew Dick a little bit too, but we won't get into that. Altogether different style, but Dick Contino was there. And Art had a heart attack. Art Van Dam had a heart attack, and so Dick was the first person to him. And his famous phrase, well, from that incident was, Dick, he says, I think I just hit a blue note. And, of course, obviously, he did recover and went on for, many more years of playing, literally all over the world. He used to say he didn't even have to practice at home. He was doing so many gigs and playing so much. So that was our personal tribute to Mr. Van Dam, who, like I said, has been gone about 15 years now, and in the later years we sort of lost contact a little bit, but of course then I had heard that he had passed, and that was not a happy day. So, Art Van Dam, this was for you, and and of course, as usual, thank you all for watching, listening, tuning in, that whole 9 yards, and of course the big guy. He's probably vibed out by now with all the vibes I was playing today, but the big guy behind the glass, he makes us all look good. So I guess we can go home with a little more bye-bye Blackbird. So here we go.